It's been a while since we've been able to gather here. My name is Sergeant Brenda Winpenny. For those of you that don't know me, I'm the Media Relations Officer for the CFSEU-BC, the Combined Forces Special Enforcement Unit. And today we are going to announce charges in relation to the Brothers Keepers Task Force, a CFSEU-led project that focused on efforts efforts on the Brothers Keepers gang. And representing CFSU today is Superintendent Duncan Pound, the Operations Officer of CFSEU. Sir.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming today. In a few moments, I'll be updating you on some significant charges which have been laid stemming from a CFSEU-BC investigation. But first, I want to provide some important background information. As British Columbia's anti-gang agency, CFSEU-BC coordinates a program known as PTEP, Provincial Tactical Enforcement Priorities. The program provides police agencies from across British Columbia the opportunity to share organized crime and gang intelligence, and to collaborate on enforcement strategies, opportunities, and priorities. The PTEP program has been in place for several years and is a critical pillar in the organized crime enforcement efforts here in British Columbia. PTEP is a cornerstone for the CFSEU-BC and a program which fuels our understanding of the gang landscape and assists with the strategic deployment of law enforcement resources. In 2018, PTEP collaboration efforts identified the Brothers Keepers as a significant concern within multiple communities within British Columbia. In general terms, the Brothers Keepers network was linked to an increase in gang violence and opioid trafficking in the Lower Mainland and across the province. As a result of police cooperation within PTEP, law enforcement was able to identify early indications of expansion efforts on the part of the group and move proactively to mitigate the threat. The PTEP process prompted CFSEU-BC to create the Brothers Keepers Task Force and multiple police of jurisdictions to initiate investigations into the network. We believe the coordinated efforts successfully thwarted expansion plans of the Brothers Keepers from the Lower Mainland to Vancouver Island and the Southeast District. Supporting continued cooperation and collaboration between police agencies is a top priority for CFSEU-BC and remains ongoing. The CFSEU-BC Brothers Keepers Task Force initiated multiple investigations into a large number of Brothers Keepers members and their associates. Efforts ranged from immediate disruption to longer and more sophisticated investigations. The evidence collected in support of the charges being announced today were the result of a longer-term investigation and the deployment of advanced police techniques. Investigations into the Brothers Keepers in general identified the primary income source as drug trafficking, including fentanyl production and trafficking. The terrible impact of fentanyl on British Columbia has been well documented and cannot be understated. As a result of the direct nexus to fentanyl trafficking, CFSEU-BC deployed the Anti-Trafficking Task Force, who became a significant contributor to the investigation in terms of human resources, project funding, and expertise. CFSEU-BC has noted several trends within the Brothers Keepers group, including how they aggressively sought to expand into new markets throughout British Columbia, utilizing reduced drug prices, product branding such as purple fentanyl, and increased street-level drug potency. We also continue to see organized crime groups in general push towards recruiting young offenders in an effort to avoid criminal charges against older and established members. Each strategy preys upon vulnerable portions of our communities with a single goal of financial gain and with no concern for the welfare of those they impact. The direct enforcement portion of this specific project resulted in over 11 kilograms of drugs seized, including cocaine, methamphetamine, oxycodone, and fentanyl, and specifically 7.5 kilograms of fentanyl, which, to put in greater perspective, over 250,000 potentially lethal doses of fentanyl, if it went out in pure form, was taken off our community streets. Seizures were made in Burnaby, Saanich, Nanaimo, Surrey, Crofton, and Vancouver. It also resulted in the seizure of production equipment, which has now impacted the ability of the group to produce more product. After navigating a large disclosure effort, I'm pleased to announce that following a thorough review of the evidence, Crown Counsel has now laid a total of 27 criminal and drug-related charges against 6 individuals. These charges are a result of the CFSEU-BC's relentless pursuit of the people and groups that pose the highest risk to public safety and cause harm in our communities, whether it's from drugs or violence or both. The names of the accused and the charges approved against them are in the media release for your reference. For the sake of brevity, I will name the accused but not read out all the individual charges at this time. I would ask that when you review the charges, you note that charges include offenses for the benefit of a criminal organization, which speaks to the serious nature of the allegations. Charged today are Amandeep Singh Kang, a 29-year-old male from Vancouver; Andrew Miguel Best, a 21-year-old male from Vancouver Island; Dylan Robert Ferris, a 22-year-old male from Surrey; Janat Bibi Nadeem, a 21-year-old female from Surrey; Moshmem Kanun Khan, a 45-year-old female from Surrey; and Tanisha Batty, a 25-year-old female from Vancouver. In addition to the charges laid against these 6 people, there's an unindicted co-conspirator stemming from this investigation. Jaskirt Kalkat was shot and killed in Burnaby in May of 2021. And this senseless violence and loss of life that accompanies the high-risk gang lifestyle is a tragedy for the family and our community as a whole. If you or someone you know is involved in gang activity, please act now. Contact the CFSEU-BC Gang Intervention and Exiting Team. They are people who can potentially save a life. To those individuals involved in organized crime and drug activity who refuse to stop, know that CFSEU-BC and our partners are and will continue to aggressively pursue anyone that poses a threat to the safety of our communities.